We have live team coverage of the conditions on the roads tonight. Lindsay Buckingham out west of the city of Cleveland in Rocky River, while Natalie Clydesdale is set up south of the city in Summit County near Macedonia.
But we begin with meteorologist Mark Johnson and Jessica Van Meter. They've been here all day with the latest track of the storm. Good evening.
Good evening. Yes, indeed. A good old-fashioned winter storm moving over us, and we're not done yet, even though we may have seen a little lull in the action for a little while. Just about an hour ago, you might have seen the snow end and the skies brighten, but no. Mother Nature has one more little surprise for you. So let's get right to it. Let's show you what's going on outside. First of all, our weather impact alert continues through the evening and the overnight. Heavy bursts of snow, then it ends probably between 8 and 9 o'clock. And impacts are going to linger, though. That's the issue. The impacts will linger through at least the morning hours tomorrow. You've got to move all of this snow, and it's impacted every single county in the state of Ohio. So it's not just a lake effect squall for 2 or 3 counties in the snow belt, and the rest of you are fine. You've all experienced the heavy snow, at least 6 inches of snow in greater Cleveland, some of you more than that, and we're reporting more than 12 inches of snow in our southern counties. There's a little spin out right now. That's I-271 at I-480 and one of the access roads along that highway. You can see somebody spun totally around. It is very slick and slow wherever you're trying to go. And this is the most traffic I've seen out all day long. We're going to have traffic coming up in just a minute. 16 degrees our current temp. Feels like about 4. It's very, very cold out there with some of you wind chills below 0 right now. This is where our winter storm warnings are still in effect. Technically through 10 a.m. tomorrow morning, we're not going to need it that long because we're going to end this snow pretty quickly over the course of the evening. But one more burst. You can see where the darker blue colors are. That's where we have the moderate to heavy snow, and that the last little wave, I should say, is now moving into Erie and Huron County, into Richland and Ashland counties. There it is. See that darker blue band that's sliding through the islands, Bellevue, Sherman, Norwalk? That's the heavy snow, and that should be the end of it. Once that moves across the area. Greater Cleveland, it's light to moderate. Let's slide into the snow belt. You're getting light to moderate snow again. And again, totals, some areas well above a foot of snow. And there is Millersburg, same to Canton, Dover, New Philly. You got a foot of snow on the ground right now in Dover, New Philly. Jessica Van Meter, you got a little more to talk about as far as the snow and the impacts and what's coming next.
Yeah, exactly. We're going to look at that National Design Mart hour-by-hour forecast and kind of walk through and see that we really see things tapering off pretty quickly. Mark was just looking at a very active radar. We still have that last little burst, if you will, of snow that's going to be tracking to the east. So we all are going to get at least a little more accumulation, at least another inch or so, maybe locally up to 2. But by the time we get to about 9 o'clock or so, a lot of that snow, all of that snow, in fact, steady snow is off to our east and continuing to move out of the area. So we are going to dry things out very, very quickly as we go through kind of these late evening hours and into the first part of the overnight. So the end is in sight for us as far as that actively falling snow is concerned. We do technically still have winter storm warnings in place. Those are right now projected to go through tomorrow morning. I think we'll easily see those canceled early, probably at some point through the overnight once we lose kind of that actively falling snow. So we are starting to wind down the impacts from this larger system, but we do still have a long stretch of those winter storm warnings stretching from southern Illinois all the way back to New England at this point. We still have ice storm warnings for areas of Georgia, western parts of the Carolinas. We even had some severe weather to the south. We had some tornado warnings across areas of southern Alabama, Georgia, and into the panhandle of Florida. So the impacts with this system, the rain, the mix, the snow, are starting to wind down as that continues to push off to the east. The next thing we're going to be concerned about, a whole nother round of alerts. All of these are for cold temperatures. We've got another burst of Arctic air that's going to be settling in as we get into the next few days here. And we are going to be considered part of that. We've got another round of alerts with that as well. We've got an extreme cold watch that's going to be with us as we get into really Monday evening and heading into Tuesday morning. We're going to have some very cold temperatures, air temperatures coming in, and our winds are going to be a little bit stronger. So we are going to have wind chills that are going to be incredibly low heading into Tuesday morning. So that could certainly be a concern for a lot of schools out there heading into Tuesday. So we do have weather impact alerts, as Mark mentioned, tonight through tomorrow morning. Not for a ton of actively falling snow tomorrow, just because we're still going to be cleaning up all the snow that we're getting here into Monday Monday. Into the rest of the week, cold temperatures are going to continue through probably at least Friday at this point. We'll talk about how cold it's going to get and how low those wind chills are going to go. In the meantime, Bruce has got a check of the roads.
Yeah, 6:07 tonight, and things moving along very, very slow. As you heard, we have several counties in a level 2 snow emergency. That means only travel if you need to tonight. This includes Cuyahoga-County, which is right here, 480 at West 130th Street. You can see cars are still able to be on the road. They're just moving along very, very slow. There's usually 4 lanes right here. Right now, we are down to about 2. Visibility also low as the night comes into play. We can see less of those roadways this afternoon. Taking a look at the big picture map right now, we aren't tracking any significant accidents. As Mark was saying, we had that spin out closer to the airport. But if we take a look, we are still tracking a speed reduction along I-90. This out in Lake County between Route 44 and 528, speeds are reduced down to 40 miles per hour. But cars to that stretch right now moving at about 35 miles per hour. Visibility also very low through Lake County. If you're traveling Route 8 down here through the Akron area between 76 and 271, northbound and southbound, going to take you about 25 minutes. To put it into perspective, I'm going to show you just how slow cars are moving. Usually that would take you about 16, and right now it's taking you 25. So slow moving traffic right now, Russ.
All right, Brissa Bradfield, normally on the morning shift. We thank you for working late with us tonight. We'll see you later in the broadcast. Many today played it safe and heeded that advice to stay off the roads.
But some are making the best of it by embracing Mother Nature. Our Lindsay Buckingham continues our team coverage now live in Rocky River. Hi, Lindsay.
Hi, Lena. It's becoming more difficult to embrace it because I have to tell you, it has actually changed over the last couple of hours from big, heavier snowflakes to now we're sort of seeing some sleet and almost with the wind, it kind of hurts your face when it hits you. But one thing I want to tell you is look this way, okay? It looks like you're looking out at a frozen tundra, but that is actually Lake Erie. It's completely frozen over. It looks a little eerie with all the snow covering it, but my goodness, it is cold, so I understand why it's frozen. That's sort of the theme actually on the roadways as well. You have some snow-covered roads, but underneath that that snow is some ice. So if you do travel, be careful. So out here on the west side, very, very cold temperatures. Definitely a lot of parking bans, so try to stay off the streets, try to not park on the streets. Also hundreds of school closings, so make sure you check that as well. This is what we're dealing with here on the west side with those temperatures, the frozen lake, and now this changing snow that I'm feeling. It's almost like sleet coming my way. I'm wondering what it looks like in the southern area. That is where we find my colleague, Natalie Clydesdale. She's near Macedonia. Natalie, how are things looking your way?
Hey, Lindsay, that's right. We're on Interstate 271 just before the exit for Boston Heights, and the snow is still steadily falling. It actually has picked up in this area within the last 20 minutes or so, and it's making travel a little bit tricky for drivers. I'll step out of the way and give you a look at the highway right now. Plows have been out, but the snow just keeps falling, covering the roads and in many areas, making the lane markings hard to see. I spoke with ODOT about an hour or so ago when a spokesman says the day is going just as expected. And the biggest challenge with this storm is how long it's lasting. There's more than 300 snowplows out across Northeast Ohio right now, and there have been a few minor crashes, but so far ODOT says there haven't been any major pileups. Just this afternoon, we saw several cars spun out and others that needed help from tow trucks. ODOT says crews will continue plowing and treating the roads throughout the night, and the big message tonight is just to take it slow. Even on the highway, my photographer and I were only going about 35 miles an hour, so definitely better to be safe than sorry in these conditions. Russ and Lena, back to you.
Certainly. Natalie and Lindsay and the crews, thank you so much. Stay safe, get warm, come back soon.